This is Kyle Martin Paintings. Good morning. It's June 23rd, 2025, and it's about 7:15 in the morning. The whole weekend has been 100 degrees. It's Monday morning now, and I'm out painting early to beat the heat. Yesterday we went to Baraboo to buy a new fan, and I took the long way home. And I noticed that the farmers were out here making hay in the afternoon yesterday. I wanted to come back out early this morning so that I could capture the field of hay before they come back and move the bales back to their farm. There's a storm coming this afternoon, and so there's no time like the present to get this painting going. Okay, it's been an hour of painting, and I need to start to resolve this painting. Corbin works at 9:30, and what that means is that I have to leave here by 9 o'clock so that I can get home and she can get over to the library where she works. That's why I got out painting so early this morning, is that I wanted to be able to paint something before the storm rolled in and before she had to go to work. So now I'm just going to resolve this painting, and the way that I have to do it is I have to have a fresh look at the painting. So I'm just stepping backwards. I have 5 minutes left to paint, and I'm stepping backwards, and I'm trying to look at the painting backwards in a mirror. And looking at the painting backwards in the mirror is going to show me anything that needs to change. And I'm seeing that this hay bale, this frontal hay bale, needs to anchor a little bit to the ground, and that's what I'm working on right now. I kind of got caught up in that foreground hay bale, and I need to have a stronger highlight on top of that veil. And I'm really noticing something kind of a warm highlight on top of the hay bale. So I'm using burnt sienna mixed with quinacridone red. It's a little bit stronger of a light. This top of the hay bale is kind of, the light is creeping around the hay bale at this point, which I like. And the top of the hay bale is kind of acting like a hat, and there's a shadow being cast underneath the top of the bale. So I'm going to indicate that. There, I think that helped out. Right here, there's some screaming warm light. Down to 3 minutes left to paint. There's just a really nice color happening right next to this dark violet part on the hay bale. So I've mixed up some lemon yellow with a little bit of orange paint, cadmium orange, and it's just right there. And that helped me out quite a bit. I'm seeing a very warm color happening right here when I look at this backwards in the mirror. And after this, I'm going to stop working on this foreground bale because I want to look at the painting as a whole. That foreground bale is sort of the star of the show. The way that I have a sky hole right here that needed to change slightly. I think that's good. I think I need to add just a little bit of green to the sky. A lot of times when I have a morning sky or something like this, I'll paint it almost warmer underneath, and then I'll work some sort of a mixture that features phthalo green on top of it. In general, I think that mixtures of phthalo green and orange creates sort of a very natural sky color. And so I have something down. You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some more pink color towards the horizon, and then I'm going to work that phthalo green up above the horizon. I know that I have this perception that right on the horizon where the tree line meets the sky, that there's this sort of green color happening. And so there I've stated that. Now I'm going to make some pink using cadmium orange and quinacridone red, a touch of phthalo green, and a touch of lemon yellow. It's more influenced by lemon yellow than... Okay. Gotta clean my brush out. I want clean color. A little bit of medium. And now this can just dance around the horizon. The sun is coming this way, so... And I'm not covering everything. I'm letting the original tone that I put for the sky still live. And now here's some of that phthalo green above it. And again, this is supposed to be just a, well, I'm using kind of a broken color technique to put this in the sky. Okay. seeing right where the hayfield meets the sort of bushes behind it, there is a different there's a different color happening. There's a very intense orange, and this might be the last thing that I do before we get going. All right, good morning. It's 7 in the morning and we're back for another plein air painting video. In today's video, we're going to be working on this field of hay bales. I'm just trying to find out where I can stand. It's 7 in the morning right now, and so this is wild parsnip right here, and there's some right here. If you get this on your skin, it reacts with the sun and you'll actually break into some kind of blisters. And so I want to keep myself away from that if possible. I think that my vantage point, if I'm standing right here, I mean, really, if I could be off the road a little bit, but the ditch is so sloped that I don't think I can be. Maybe I could just sneak into the field a little bit. Well, I think I'll be okay. Maybe I'll look right over here. Anyway, it's 7 in the morning and I'm out painting. Corbin and Violet and I are going to be going to the library in Boston today. Violet has a play date with one of her little friends, and so I wanted to get out and paint early in the morning so that I can go to that with them, with her and with Corbin. Also, the clouds are rolling in, so I want to get a painting done. It's a rainy week here in Wisconsin, and I think that if I can get a painting in, then I'll get my work done for the day, and the clouds and rain will roll in the afternoon. So beautiful morning out here in Zastro country. I've got some relatives who live out in this area, and I figured that it was a nicest places I need to do some painting this morning. Clouds have rolled in and the colors are changed from what my initial impression. And so the way that I'm able to move forward, even though that the clouds have rolled in, is that I pre-mixed a bunch of colors on my palette. I think that I'm gonna get a little bit more blue sky. Probably not a lot, but I'm just gonna get my foundation laid in as best as I can, and when that blue sky does come back, I'm just gonna start mixing and painting like crazy. If you actually look, you know, this is a very atmospheric morning, and I love it. I feel alive and I feel great being outdoors painting. And when I look at even the background, look at how much the clouds are obscuring. There's some bluffs. Well, I'm actually painting the color of the bluffs right now, this sort of periwinkle blue color, and the clouds have completely obscured those bluffs. So it's a very extremely atmospheric morning, and I think that I got lucky by pre-mixing some colors, and I'm hoping that some more colors, the sun comes out. All I need is about 20 minutes to finish this painting off. 20 minutes of sun. As I'm drawing to a close here. You know, according to Murphy's Law, the minute that I pack my things up and go, I'm going to get that little extra burst of sun that I need to complete this painting. But I've just been kind of going off memory. I did have the heavens did open up and give me a touch of sun about 5 minutes ago, and I mixed about 3 or 4 colors, and that was helpful. So even if I have to go, I guess I'm happy with what I have here, just as the sort of a study of the field of hay bales. But I will say that there's a lot of nice synchronicities happening. Like, just as I was painting this field, I noticed this little flicker of turquoise where the hay field meets the corn, and I already had that down because of my blue underpainting. So that was a nice synchronicity. I was noticing that there was some, like, the reflected light was bouncing up into the underside of the hay bales, so I'm just seeing if I can indicate that. I was looking at a painting that I did in 2010, and I noticed that I had a similar situation, and the color that I used was basically yellow ochre. I don't have yellow ochre on my palette today, and the reason for that is I'm working with a limited palette, but I think what I just put down was pretty good. When I first pulled up, I did notice that the hay bales in the back were turning violet because of the early morning atmosphere. So there I've just added a touch of violet. Gosh, I'm almost getting a little bit of sun right now. I love it. You know, I love the chase. And of course I could stand out here all morning and wait for the sun. But I've got a little girl to take to the library for a play date, and I don't want to keep anybody waiting for me. I've had 15 years, I've had almost 20 years for myself to develop my painting style, and now in my life it's time to think about, and it's time to raise my daughter, and so that's what's most important to me. But boy, it feels pretty damn cool to be able to get out in the field, get a landscape painting done, and not miss any of that precious time with her. I was also noticing there's just such beautiful color. You know, I'm getting a little bit of sunshine right now, and there's these beautiful areas where the light sort of, the temperature on the early morning cut hayfield is turning turquoise, and so I'm mixing some phthalo green, some lemon yellow, and then where can I see that? Right in here, in that area. You know, it's a subtle shift, but some of these, oh yeah, I like that. Right here, there's reflected light from the sun, and the shape of it is a lot different because the sun has moved since I set up. But I can remember how it was when I first started, and it's the sky reflecting into the mesh on the hay bale, and it's kind of it's a dirty purple. And so I'm mixing quinacridone red with ultramarine blue. Now I've added a little phthalo blue, a little lemon yellow to tone it. I might even need some. You know what I can do is hold up this spot screen, and that'll allow me to mix the exact color that I'm seeing. When I look at hay bales, I see all of the reflected light and all of the things that are influencing the color. So let me look at it backwards in the mirror. Not bad. Okay, I have 2 more minutes to paint because I have to get going. So I just want to say how appreciative I am that you all have taken the time this morning to come out into the field with me. And we'll put an image of the painting on the screen. And thanks so much for being here. Okay, I did get that extra 5 minutes of light that I needed, and I'm happy, definitely happy with the painting and ready to head off to the library. So it's gonna be a mad dash to get my things packed into the car, but let's go.